Well, back guys, Fog Wrestling. Cold Steve Austin, update on his pivotal match with Kevin Owens. Well, Fog Wrestling, right, we're here to just say to you, this isn't going to happen. It's a load of pish. As previously noted, Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens has been discussed and pitched for WrestleMania 38. Obviously, we've seen Owens on Raw, running down Texas and all that stuff. Obviously, I'm from Texas. Austin potentially probably will be the host for Mania. I'd like to see him as the host, but it would be Austin's first match in 2003. 19 years out. Like, come on. It's just, think of the amount of matches. We discussed it in our Raw review yesterday. I mean, Cena, Hogan, you could throw Goldberg in there, Brock, Punk. Like, I know some of them are more like they could have happened when he was still there, if you know what I mean. But if he didn't come back for them, right, 19 years later, and it's not like Austin's like late 40s right now, you know, or like early 50s. He's like mid to late 50s, and like, who comes back after 20 years out in the wrestling business to do that? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. I don't know, but obviously because it's across 2 nights in the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, they need to sell 200,000 tickets. But I don't want Austin to have a match. See, as great as it would be seeing Austin come out to his theme song in his ring gear, right? It would be fucking, like, see that moment alone? It would be fantastic, because he's the greatest of all time, right? He is. He's Stone Cold Steve fucking Austin. He's the man, right? It's like the same way like, obviously, because he's been gone 20, we haven't seen him come out in his ring. Obviously, when he was GM and shit, you know, he came out in that attire and stuff. But it would just be different to see him actually come out for a match. You know, it's like all these stars, like we haven't. When was the last time we saw Hulk Hogan come out for a match? Alright, it was TNA, for example. But forget about. I mean, seeing Hogan comes out in 2002, like Return, it's fucking epic stuff. You know, and it would be, but the match itself, it wouldn't be that good. I mean, just look at Kevin Owens. He's a fat bum. Like, he's not the worst guy in WWE. He's nowhere near the worst guy in WWE. But just think of the stuff Austin has jobbed out. You know, to come back for this. It's not happening. I just don't see how it's happening. I mean, 200,000 tickets. I mean, is it not more plausible to bring, like, back Undertaker for a fucking cinematic match or something? Sting versus The Undertaker. Austin versus Cody Rhodes. Fuck it, do we want that? Rhodes, Austin. There's no quite Dusty Rhodes, even though Dusty Rhodes is pish. Dave Meltzer addressed the matter. I mean, it's always bullshit with Dave Meltzer, but the impression is that the match is on. I know that backstage with WWE all day, that's all I hear about. Not all I keep hearing about, but I heard it early in the day and then kept checking around, and more people were saying they heard the same thing. So he heard it early in the day, and then he kept checking around with your mom's basement, Meltzer. Like, oh, he's got his sources. It's such a So I don't know that it's a done deal, but people were talking like it was. I have the impression the match is on. Like, it's either on or it's no, Davey boy. And you can't say stuff like that and then allude to it. But yeah, Austin's talking about in 2019 how people said he was in really good shape. Like, that's all good, right? Look at the amount of surgeries he's had on his spine. Like, yes, you can look in good shape. Go look at fucking Goldberg. Goldberg's still built like fuck for what, 55, 54, whatever age he is. But at the end of the day, like, you need to take bumps, you need to look decent. I mean, I'm not saying Austin's going to be fucking selling like fuck for Kevin Owens, because he shouldn't be. At the end of the day. But, as you can see, Austin, 57, there he is, in height. Me still... Austin, fuck it, bring him back. I want to see Austin in a match, right? But I don't want him to ruin the legacy, because, I mean, a match against The Rock at Mania, when wrestling was still great, you know, I mean, Limp Bizkit, fucking crack addict blasting, that should be the last memory of Austin in a in-ring capacity as a wrestler, a full-time fucking wrestler. It shouldn't be, why did he come back at the age of 57 to fight a fat bastard by Kevin Owens, guys? That's just my opinion. But yeah, you know, could we, like, is it going to happen, people? Stone Cold at 38, The Rock at 39. You know, people are saying it's a bit sad, but... well, guys, I don't think Stone Cold's returning, but will he, guys? Leave it down below. And until next time, peace.